Good morning, students. Today we are going to study about a very important topic, that is friction. Before coming towards the topic, I want to ask some questions from you related to the today's topic. So let us begin. How do things moves in your daily life? Just concentrate on this ball. This ball automatically getting stopped and eventually getting hot as well. Is it or not? When a ball will move, it will get hot. Now suppose you are skating on a ice, but your friend is skating on the road, for whom it will be easy to move. And dear students, why this bottle is not getting slipped from your hands? And you must have observed that in malls, there is a caution sign that move carefully on this floor. Answer of these all questions is only one, that is friction. Dear students, friction, it is an opposing force. That's why the ball is getting stopped. The ball is getting stopped on the floor due to friction. Due to friction only, it is easy to move on the road rather than on the ice. Due to friction only, the bottle is not getting slipped from your hands, and it is the friction only due to which it was want to move carefully on the floor. So friction is what? Friction is a type of force. So dear students, we are going to study about this frictional force in our today's lecture. So first question comes, what is friction? Friction is the force which opposes the relative motion. Students, if you are moving in this direction, then the force of friction will always be in opposite direction, and it is clear from this diagram. Just concentrate on this diagram. The motion is from left to right, but the force of friction is from right to left. Okay, so you should know what is friction. Friction is a force which opposes the relative motion. Okay, and now next question which comes in our mind, that what is the cause of friction? Dear students, the cause of friction is only one, that is irregularities between two surfaces in contact. Whenever you are looking a very smooth surface, those surfaces are also having many irregularities if you will see those under microscope. Okay, irregularities means rough surfaces. So here you can see the example we have taken. One is big block and one is small block. Big block and small block, they are in contact with each other. That contact surface we have just magnified, and whenever we have magnified it, we are just checking that the surfaces which are in contact are not smooth. You can see some irregularities are there. Okay, irregularities means like this. These surfaces are not smooth, but they are rough, and these rough surfaces we are calling irregularities. Okay, so whenever these surfaces will come in contact with each other, then what will happen? These surfaces are getting locked between each other. That's what we are calling interlocking. एक दूसरे में लॉक हो जाना. So interlocking of irregularities is the main cause of friction. Students, just now I told you that smooth surfaces are also having irregularities, but only minute, means very small, and rough surfaces have large irregularities between them. So force of friction is more in case of rough surfaces as compared to the smooth surfaces. Okay, next is our types of friction. So there are two types of friction, that is static friction and kinetic friction. Static friction, as its name is suggesting, static means when both objects are in rest with each other, they are not moving. Okay, and kinetic friction, the force of friction which comes into play when there is relative force between the surfaces. Okay, but when there is relative force between the surfaces. So there are two types of friction, static friction and kinetic friction. You can keep these in mind by the name only, that is static means in rest, kinetic means in motion. So just concentrate on this diagram, students. In this diagram you can see that if the motion means efforts are in left side, the force of friction is opposite side. Okay, force of friction is always in opposite side because it will oppose your motion. Then you know that weight of object is always in downward direction, is it or not? So according to Newton's third law of motion, it will have a reaction which will be in opposite direction. So what we call that? Normal force, or we can also call it normal reaction. So always keep in mind, whenever I am talking about normal reaction, it is the simple reaction according to Newton's third law of motion. Weight of the object is in downward direction, so normal reaction is in upward direction. Students, next is our laws of friction or limiting friction, which are very important. The value of limiting friction, you can see that here 4 laws are there. So first law is the value of limiting friction depends upon the nature of two surfaces in contact. Just now we told that on smooth surfaces the friction is less, but on rough surfaces the friction is more. Okay, so that means the friction, it depends upon the nature of the surfaces in contact. Second is the force of friction always acts in opposite direction of the direction of motion. This I am telling you again and again, and it is important question for MCQs as well. Third is the value of limiting friction is directly proportional to the normal reaction. Just now I told you that R is normal reaction, so F is directly proportional to R. Students, whenever we are removing this proportionality sign, whenever we will remove this proportionality sign, then you will get one constant. So F is equal to mu. What we call it? Mu. And this mu is called as coefficient of limiting friction. What we call it? Coefficient of limiting friction. Once again I am telling you mu. First you have to write u and one more arm on the back side. This is the symbol and we pronounce it as mu. M-E-U. Mu. Okay, it's pronunciation only. What is mu? It is the coefficient of limiting friction. Last point is again very important. The value of limiting friction for any two given surfaces is independent of the shape or area of the surfaces. So whether you are taking a road of 5 km or a road of 2 km, the force of friction between the surface of vehicle and road, it will be same. That means the force of friction or value of limiting friction, it is independent of the shape, it is independent of the area of the surfaces. Students, next question is very important. Actually, whatever 2-3 slides are there, this whole question is coming in one as a single question. Okay, so question form you can write, what do you mean by angle of friction and angle of repose? So that both are equal. Both are equal means you have to prove that angle of friction is equal to angle of repose. So what is angle of friction? Students, concentrate on this diagram first. So in this diagram you can see that the object is moving in forward direction, means in this direction, but the force of friction is in opposite direction. The weight of the object is in downward direction, that is your W, and normal reaction means capital R is in upward direction. So students, this is your normal reaction and this is your force of friction, means you can complete this parallelogram. So you know that if we will apply the parallelogram law of vector addition, then the resultant will be given by the diagonal. Okay, so this central line is known as the resultant of the force of friction and normal reaction, and this angle between this normal reaction and resultant is theta, and this theta is called as the angle of friction. So once again you can go through the definition of angle of friction. It is the angle between normal reaction and resultant force. Normal reaction and resultant force, it is called as angle of friction. It is also called as angle of limiting friction. Okay. Now students, mathematics. We have to deduce any mathematical expression for it so that we can compare it with second angle, that is angle of repose. So for this, what we have done, same things, we have given the names like O, B, A, C. Okay, this parallelogram we have given a names. O, A, B, C is the parallelogram, where OC is the resultant and OA is normal reaction and OB is force of friction. So students, concentrate on the triangle AOC. In triangle AOC, tangent theta. Tangent theta, by using the formula you have learned in your 10th class, Pandit Badri Prasad Har Bhole. So what it says, that tangent theta is perpendicular upon base. So perpendicular is AC and base is your OA. Why base is OA? Because this angle is 90 degree. And students, I told you the line on which two angles are there, we call it base. So OA is the base and AC is your perpendicular. So AC upon OA, or you can write that AC is also equal to OB. So AC and OB, you can write AC is equal to OB upon OA. So OB is equal to F. So OB is equal to F. OA, it is equal to normal reaction, means R. And students, when we were studying about limiting friction, then we have written that F is directly proportional to R. Is it or not? We were writing F is directly proportional to R. And after that we have written that F is equal to mu R. And if R you will bring on the other side, then what we will get? That F upon R is equal to mu. So that's why we have written F upon R is equal to mu. So we can write mu is equal to tan theta. Students, give it equation number 1 on your notebooks, because we have to compare it. We have to compare it with second angle, that is angle of repose. So students, what is angle of repose? Angle of repose, it is the angle of sliding friction. It is the angle of sliding, and it is the angle of inclined plane. Inclined plane means which is at any angle. Just like open your notebook to half of the, don't open it full, just open it half. Okay, so that is also will make a inclined plane. Inclined plane means just like sloping plane you have seen in the park. Okay, so this is the sloping on which the object is sloping in downward direction, that is known as inclined plane. So it is the minimum angle of inclination plane with the horizontal. This is the inclination plane जहाँ पे slope बनी हुई है, जहाँ से आप slip करते हो. And this is the ground, we are calling it horizontal. So this is the minimum angle between these two. We are noting it by alpha, on which the body placed just begin to slide. Students, now the body is placed at this point. When it will start sliding, that angle is known as your angle of repose. And just concentrate on diagram now, students, that the object is sloping in downward direction. So force of friction will be in opposite direction. That's why you can see F is in upward direction. Weight of the object will be somewhere here. So this weight we can resolve into two components. I told you, one horizontal component, one vertical component. So one component of weight will be mg cos theta and second component will be mg sin theta. Just see now students, the normal reaction is opposite to mg cos theta, or we can say that this normal reaction we are calling it N, or we can call it R also. We can call it R also. This is upon U. Okay, so normal reaction may be denoted by N or R. So this R is balanced by mg cos f alpha, and this force of friction, it is balanced by mg sin theta. That's why we can write in our mathematics, that is, we can write it as F is equal to mg sin alpha and N is equal to mg cos alpha. Students, when you will divide this F upon N, and again I'm telling you, you can write it equal to R also. So F upon N or F upon R is equal to tan alpha, and F upon R, I told you here also, it is equal to mu. So in this we will give equation number 1, and equation number 2 you can give, that is mu is equal to tan alpha. So just see, the right hand side is same, mu is equal to tan alpha and mu is equal to tan theta as well. So if the left hand side is same, right hand side will also be same, means tan theta is equal to tan alpha. Hence you can say that alpha is equal to theta, means angle of friction is equal to angle of repose. So that's all about today's class. Thank you. Have a nice day ahead.